Friday, it's a little after 7:30 and I'm trying something new here, except this one up here doesn't seem to be working. I'm trying to go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. However, this one, the Facebook one, it's an old iPhone, which I'm pretty sure was shite at doing lives years ago, and he's still shite. The screen has gone, and it appears to be freezing every few seconds. However, we shall hack on and see what happens. The world may implode, I do not know. As you can possibly see from my demeanour, it's a little bit warm and humid around here. I've just been down to the unit to get the Mustang, and evening Nige, how you doing, mate? Get the Mustang. Honestly, but it's hot and sweaty anyway. Then you get in that Mustang. How you doing, matey? You all right? Then you get in that Mustang, and suddenly, oh good God! Well, you can see what's going on. My crotch is like a swamp, but the Mustang is home because tomorrow I'm going to Alton Park, because it is their northern version. Hello, Rob. It is the northern version of the Speedfest thing. It's the US Auto Show. Bernie's V8s are running. Evening, mate. Bernie's V8s are running, and there's loads of support races as well. I think there's 33 cars entered for the Bernie's V8s one. They're having a big celebration, 70 years of the Corvette, and it should be a pretty bloody good day if the rain stays away. So I wanted to go anyway, and then I thought, I'm not taking the Mustang. So Mustang is going. Well, what else is going on? I've sold me... Hello, Lee. You're right, mate. I've sold me trailer tent. Oh, God, I've got to deliver that on Sunday, or this weekend. But it can't be tomorrow. It'll have to be Sunday. So that's going. Oh, dear me, I'm uncomfortable. What else? There's not a lot else to tell you. I've been at work all week, and it's been very, very, very dull. I didn't go to anything last weekend, even though I know that so many of you were at the NSRA Hot Rod Super Nationals. How did that go? Were you there? Did you enjoy it? Do tell. Like I say, I wanted to go, but I can't do everything. Neil Frank will be there with his Corvette. Yes, I know there's... I think there's like at least half a dozen, possibly like 10 classic Corvettes on the grid. Plus a big, display alongside. I'm not in a club display. I'm just in a private entrance, so to speak. Entrance with a T made. Back up. So there. What's anybody else up to this weekend? Is anybody else going to Alton Park? That would be good to know. And is anybody got anything interesting going on at all? Do tell. Because, there's not a massive amount on this weekend. There's a little bit on next weekend, being... hello, Tony. How you doing? Being, of course, August Bank Holiday weekend. There's a few things going on just on the Monday, but unfortunately my place of work does not recognise August Bank Holiday at all. So that's that knackered. Hello, Chris. How are you doing? Long time no see. What's new with you, matey? Still very, very busy? I assume you are. And unsurprised at this. So what you got going on at the minute? You got any good projects in? You say always open. Thank you very much. I may well take you up on that offer, although I'll try and give you some notice so that you can get the kettle on. Hi, just see if we can get you on the telly. Oh God, you want to see this fat sweaty mug in widescreen, do you? Why? Good God. Whew. Yes, so I've just absolutely legged it back from the workshop. I had to put fuel in the Mustang on the way. Having to put fuel in the Mustang is becoming a very, very regular occurrence. It doesn't do a lot to the gallon. Hello, 11 of us from the Reapers Car Club are going to Alton Park. Nice one. Oh, will do, matey. Good on you. So the Reapers, fantastic stuff. I'll drop by and say I'll be walking past with a camera. So hello, Scott. How you doing? Yes, so I may well pop in and visit you. You can put the kettle on as well. Having these cameras so far apart is a shocking idea. So if you'll indulge me for a few moments, I'm going to endeavour to drop things. That's clearly what I'm going to do. No. Oh, yes, that's much better now. They're next door to each other. And I can read both things at the same time. Oh my God, now there's two fat, sweaty bastards staring back at me. Lucky me. Hello, Ian. How are you doing, matey? What's new with you? What are you up to? Oh, dear. Honestly, my throat's as dry as a Flid's hanging baskets. You don't look half a sixpence, half a mild. Yeah. Or am I supposed to fill in my own punchline to that, Scott? Yes, I'm very, very much looking forward to... Hello, Matt. I'm very, very much looking forward to Alton Park tomorrow. I really, really enjoy the circuit racing. I did love Speedfest. Unfortunately, it's invariably on the same weekend as the Hot Rod and Hills weekend. So A, it's a long way south, although, frankly, the Hot Rod and Hills is a long way north. And they clash. However, I've completely failed to go to either of those events for the past couple of years, which is, since before lockdown, which is very, very weak. So I do apologise. Hello, Darren. How are you doing, matey? Are you busy this weekend? Are you doing the Red Hill Dream Cruise tomorrow night? Because I know tomorrow night is it's the Red Hill Dream Cruise, which I believe is organised by the Dream Cars boys. I haven't seen them in a good long time. And yes, they're trying to get back to the old sort of mid-70s days of the Chelsea Cruise. But with a whiff of the old, I don't know if you've ever been to the Power Big Meet at Västerås in Sweden, where the whole show just takes over the town, and at night they just cruise around this sort of big loop around the town, and it's proper, low and slow, no burnouts, no, nothing like that. But yet low and slow, and everybody's chilled and having a great time, and it's wonderful if it's pleasant weather. Obviously, if it's belting with rain, not so much. But yes, it would be good to get something going on, like the old King's Road and whatnot, in that spirit, if for no other reason to show that we're not just a band of bloody hooligans. Because, the way things go, don't get me started on all this ULEZ bullshit, but, if we're not careful, then people who drive cars for pleasure will be the villains. People who drive cars when they absolutely have to is one thing. Or people who have to drive their cars for business, if you must. But people who drive cars for pleasure, well, that's just polluting the world for your jollies, isn't it? Yes, mate. Capel show first, then over to Red Hill. Oh, fantastic stuff. Capel, nice one. So there you go. Darren Graham's going to Capel. Is it? It's not Capel Manor. Capel Manor's up here, isn't it? But there we go. Another one local to you, son. That I could, yes. Unfortunately, believe it or not, I'm not in that particular loop. I thought Looping Farm had finished. I thought it had been and gone already. So, damn, I've got all the errands I should be doing tomorrow when I'll be at Alton Park. I'll have to do on Sunday now. So, yes, I shall not, unfortunately, be able to go to Looping Farm, which is a buggerance because that is more local than I could wish for. Evening, Mike. How are you doing, matey? How's things with you? Evening, Colin. How's it going? God, this is doing my head in, this having two cameras lark. So, yes, what else is anybody up to this weekend? Are you planning on showing, or are you got work to do? I mean, interesting car work, not your job. Unless your job is interesting car work, in which case, please do tell. Oh no, damn, because that was one of those shows. Would you believe I've never been, even though it's, like I say, it's as local as I could wish for. I've never been, but I do know loads of people who have gone, and it's a brilliant show. And it would, as far as I'm aware, it's never been advertised. It's never been advertised or published or anything like that. I've published a report on the show, but not. It hasn't been advertised as happening. It's all done through word of mouth, and the thing is rammed. And I believe all the money goes to charity, doesn't it? And they've raised a fortune over the year. But yeah, I know that Edwin's not that well, is he? Also, no spring chicken, I believe. But there we go. Been moving house the last 3 weeks. Very much done with that. Yes, that's a novelty that wears off really, really quickly, isn't it? So, never 2,000 cars. That's bloody hell. There can't be many. No, never been advertised and still manages to get 2,000 cars. And it is a proper all-comers show, isn't it? It's not just Americans and hot rods, and it's not just classics or vintage or anything. It's just like, if it's interesting, come on. So, yes. Damn. And it's the last one ever. Bugger. Oh, well. It would have been nice to go, but there we go. Oh, God almighty, it's hot. So what is anybody else up to, apart from Lupin Farm? What else have I done? Yeah, the reason I was quite late is because after I got home from work, I had to leg it to the unit to get the Mustang. However, before I could leave the workshop, it started off with a few... Yeah, and didn't they get a load from the Rolls-Royce Club coming, even though the official Rolls Club meet was not far away on the same day? Yes, I went down the workshop to put the van there, bring the Mustang home for tomorrow. Got to the workshop and I thought, on the way I was thinking, shite, that clutch cable needs doing, doesn't it? Yes, it has an adjuster nut on the end of the clutch cable, which is self-adjusting itself off. So after a couple of hours of driving, you've got no clutch. You have to stop, get under the car, which is very, very low, tighten this little half-inch bolt up, well, 13mm or whatever, and nut, rather, and away you go again. There should be a lock nut. There isn't. So I thought, when I get there, I'll see if I can find a nut for the right thread. Hello, Carol. How you doing? You all right? On the way there, I drove through a set of roadworks which has been there for weeks. I had no idea what they're doing. It's very inconvenient. One of these four-way temporary traffic light things. Can't see what they're doing. Can't see what they've done. Don't seem to have achieved anything. And there was a sign up there saying this road will be closed at 7 p.m. I thought, that's no problem. I'll be coming back before 7 p.m. Wrong! Tit! So got there, couldn't find a nut, faffed around doing this cable. When it was time to leave, it was 7:05. I thought, so I'm going to have to go the back way. Coming through the back way, I looked at the fuel gauge. Oh, bugger me, there's no fuel. So I had to stop at the fuel station and throw a load of expensive E5 in. And there we go. So by the time I got back here, washed the crust off my face and hands, not too efficiently. I don't know if you can see the colour of... Look at the colour of my arse. Oh, elbow. Sorry, I always get those two confused. Then, yeah, oh. Hello. Oh, right. Oh, popped home. I hope it's a pleasure visit there, Johnny. So what? Hello, Andy. You're right. So, yeah, that's cool stuff. How's, like I say, I hope it's a pleasure trip and not some unpleasant trip. So what are you up to while the cat's away? Yeah, so that's why I had to rush back. How's he doing, Andy? You all right, mate? Rush back, quick licking a promise with a baby wipe. I've got a packet of baby wipes, and he says pure baby wipes. You can only use them to wipe pure babies. Oh, that's good stuff. Just visiting then. Nice one. Okay. Because it's, oh, God almighty, Biffy's there at the moment. What's he doing? Woodward Avenue, that's what he's doing. Oh, sorry, no, he's out there to visit family. It just happens to be on the same weekend as the Woodward Avenue Dream Cruise. Why has petrol prices gone up so quickly? Because they can. Yeah, it's gone up by about 10p around my neck of the woods. Detroit, yes. Well, you're just the other side. I say just the other side of the lake, as though that lake is like a fecking duck pond. I know it's probably hundreds of miles, but yes, I still class that as your neck of the woods, mate. Hello, Phil. Only 2 hours away. Okay, not as bad as I thought then. Working in Swanage. Oh, you're back diving. Fantastic, nice one. Glad to hear that, matey. So how's you, Phil? What are you up to? Do tell. So yeah, are you popping to Detroit for the Woodward cruise thing, Johnny, or is that not your cup of tea? I know I've been seeing Biff's. He's doing the whole tourist trail. He was in bloody Washington DC a little while ago. Young Mr. Gunby's out in Florida. I don't know him. Yes, I know that Nick is out soaking up the sunshine while we're just soaking up. So lucky folks. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of Florida at the minute. I wouldn't mind a bit of anywhere, to be honest. Anywhere that doesn't involve welding. Back in action and earning those Viking parts tokens. Ah, has anything happened on the Viking, or have you just bought more things to drag behind it? Or is that what you're doing of a weekend, mowing like country estates and stuff? Yeah, you should have come here. It's a direct flight to Toronto. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know. Oh, hang about. Are you talking about Mr. Gunby? Yes, he's a whole United States away from you. Absolutely feck all. Jolly good. It's not just me then. Excellent. Because yes, like I say, apart from oh yeah, like I said, I sold the folding trailer tent, which is a wonderful device, and I love it. However, it's taking up a whole lot of room. Hey Kim, are you now watching on both? If so, why? It beats me why anybody would watch on one, never mind two. So yes, what have we got coming up? Well, like I say, it's August Bank Holiday weekend next weekend. I'm not planning on doing anything that weekend, apart from, trying not to spend any money. Except between now and then I may actually go for a haircut. Other than that, not planning on spending much money. Could do with, now the Fiesta, the unpaid intern mobile, is MOT'd. I could do with taxing it and insuring it. Or insuring it and taxing it even. I may well leave that till next month. Street Outlaws in Orlando in October. Ooh, yeah. Street Outlaws as in the TV show or an event of the same name? I've looked at the growing dust and rust, soiled balefully and left it alone again. Unfortunately, I've tried ignoring project cars in the hope that they sort of fix themselves. It doesn't work like that. Ask me how I know. I mean, I've left that bloody El Camino parked under a tree for the last 14 years, and you know what? It hasn't got any better. It's pathetic. It's just not putting in the effort. I blame a lack of moral fibre. Hot Rod Hop is next weekend, correct. Yeah, Facebook works better. Oh, fair enough. Unfortunately, the Facebook phone I'm using is the really, really shite one with the busted screen, so I'll take your word on it. Right, okay. Are you going down there for that? Or because it used to be, I'll get around to it, I promise. Yeah, I've heard that one before. From me. I am now one of those people who, I've got a car that's just rotting into the ground, and no, I won't sell it because I'll get around to it one day. And it'll be the last thing I ever sell. It really will. Yeah, so saying the Hot Rod Hop next weekend, that's on August Bank Holiday weekend. Sick week maybe next. Oh, nice one, because it's there's one about to start, isn't? And then at the end of October, the one that really appeals to me is Death Week, which is another week-long drag and drive thing. I think it's 5 venues in a sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 kind of pattern, and it incorporates things like Death Valley. And I know it's the end of October, but if that doesn't sort the men from the boys, below sea level in the baking hot, I don't know what will. I need it to pull me mower around. Okay. But yeah, that would be wonderful. I'd love to do something like that. Yeah. There's lots of dragon drives. So anyway, yes, August Bank Holiday weekend, like you say, there's a Hot Rod Hop. There's a couple of other things. Stoneham Barnes, I think, is that on still? Trying to fill the void left by the NASC Nationals. Dear me, life isn't the same without that lot. Hello, Mike. How you doing? Harvey Davis and I at Alton Park tomorrow. Yes, I'll be there too, Mike. Me and unpaid intern 2 in the Blue Meanie Mustang will be there. So hopefully I'll bump into you. I'll be below sea level in the baking sun tomorrow. You will be below sea, presumably, rather than below sea level. And as for the baking sun, does that really apply? Death Week, isn't that when Nick gets home? Oh, yes, he did say that, you know, when you go on holiday to places, it's only fair that you patronise the local businesses. And I don't mean, you know, talk down to them and stuff. So, yeah, he said it would be very rude of him not to go into Ford Performance and sort of price stuff up. So, yes, Death Week will either be when Carol finds out or when the visa statement hits the mat. At which point the next thing to hit the mat will probably be Nick. Oh dear. But it's all good fun, isn't it? You know, I mean, if you didn't spend it on car parts, you'd only waste it. Or spend it on drink and stuff. So there we go. Yes, happy days and very much, yeah. Oh, Alton Park ticket. Yeah, after that, there's the first weekend in September, which is, Volkswagen Action at Santa Pod. Then the second weekend in September is the Euro Finals. Now that is beach entry too. Oh, sandy. Oh, I see what you mean. So I'll be getting smashed about by the tide, getting in and out. Magnificent. Okay. Oh, getting smashed around your entry. Where was I going with that? So yeah, Eurofinals now. Of course, that's like a 4-day weekend. Of course, yes, my place of employment doesn't believe in 4-day weekends in the same way as they don't believe in Bank Holiday Monday. So I won't be there until Friday evening, which is a pisser, but better than the not at all. Yeah, I can't wait for that. And yeah, as Santa Pod's been touting the fact that my friends Vicky and Pete have entered Vicky's Buick in Street Eliminator. If you were at the Mopar Nuts, you may have seen it. He was doing the sort of Street Eliminator tryouts event. Oh, it's lovely. It really, really floats my boat. Another successful derailment? Yes. Thanks. Yeah, what I really needed was more confusion in my life. So yes, Vicky's Buick is, it's superb, it really is. Can't wait to see that run. She's run it back right, well, at Mopars she had it down to 8.5, and I think they've got, still got a brick under the throttle for that. So surely plenty more to come. Anything else going on? Please do tell. Like I say, my life is incredibly dull. I could tell you about doing production line welding all week. It's pitifully dull. It's pitifully dull to do. I can't make it much more interesting in the telling. So, battery keeps going flat on the van again. I don't know why. But yes, I bought a battery from a company called Tayna, T-A-Y-N-A. 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, for that van, and it's a bloody monster thing, this battery. The spec for this van is an 096, which is a bit flimsy. But anyway, I bought this 017, big old battery. 2 years down the line, it will not hold a charge. 4-year guarantee, so I said, right, I need a replacement. And they said, right, here's a big long list of all the hoops you have to jump through to send it back. Really? You want me to send it back? There's no way around that, is there? No. Right, okay, so at some point when I've got a load of free time on my hands, I will be packaging the battery up and sending it back. In the meantime, I've got the 096 battery on there that came off my Lexus. And, well, the Lexus has been gone 18 months. So, yes, that also seems to be going a bit flat. However, that has just kicked around the unit for the past couple of years. Well, past 18 months, really. So, I'm not really surprised. But, yes, I need to find out why. Hello, Dave. How you doing, matey? How's things with you? How's the old Volvo coming along? So, yep, there we go. That's the tedium that is my week. Please do tell me about yours if I can't live vicariously through you guys. Hello, Biff. Bloody hell, have you not got anything better to do at the moment? How's it going? Because, yes, Biff, in case you didn't know, I'm doing live concurrently and at the same time on Facebook and YouTube. I've just shown 2 large social media platforms the state of my fingernails. For which I apologise, but not really. So, yeah, what's going on then, Biff? How are you getting on? Brewery beckons. You've gone all the way to America to go to a brewery. Have you been them all in the UK? But it's good to see you, Biff. I hope you're having a great time. And when is the Woodward Dream Cruise? Is that tomorrow? And, yeah. Fantastic. I've, on the other channel there, I've just been speaking to Johnny Z. So there you go. Well, hello, Chris. How you doing, matey? How's things with you? Hello, Ken. Are you all right, buddy? What's going on? Well, everybody rocking up at 8 o'clock. Has something just finished on the telly? So, yes, again, like I say, I've done very little of any interest, so I need you guys to fill me in on what you're doing interesting in the world of cars so that I can enjoy a bit of vicarious pleasure, which isn't a bit of pleasure with a vicar. My back is doing me in as well, because otherwise this is going to be double platform and half length live. I get no notifications here or FB. Oh, that's crap. Yeah, and that's kind of the reason I started to switch to YouTube, is because you generally, if you subscribe to the channel, you generally get a notification, whereas Facebook flips a coin whether it tells you anything or not. Pooh. Yeah, oh, come on. Oh, sorry, I never do anything fun. Come along. Go to Alton Park tomorrow. That'll be fun. I can't guarantee it won't rain, but it'll be fun. I'll check my settings. Ooh, are you sitting comfortably? Yeah, and talking of platforms, if you're on the HRG YouTube channel there, have a look. Have you seen the piece about the Paul Jarrett Lawton's Dodge van? It's cool. I like it a lot. Evening, Dave. All good, thanks, says Dave. Hope you're... Yep. Oh, yes, Volvo's still moving along. Removed the motor, transmission and prop to concentrate on, and it's just scrolled off the screen. Bloody hell, I've just remembered why I switched to YouTube. So you've... hang on a bit. So you've dropped the engine in, now you've pulled it all back out again. Not cars, but has an engine. The mower runs and drives now, but the brakes are absolutely pointless. Brakes, okay. How fast does this bloody mower go? Is that why they're pointless? You might get more viewers on OnlyFans. Possibly not. I don't know. What is it, Rule 34? It's King Chan Man. Hello. I don't know that handle. Yeah, Rule 34. If it exists on the internet, there'll be a pornographic version of it. I exist on the internet. Look, you're watching me now. There's a nice mental picture for you before you have your tea. I think we've discussed this before. Chris, has anybody rodded a Tatra? I don't know if they've done it over here. It would make a pretty wicked sort of lowrider type thing, or like an old custom. Just concentrate on finishing off the bodyworks paint, then build back up. Nice one, excellent stuff. You're scared. So I'll be driving at you with 3 mini combine harvester type blades spinning furiously with no real way to stop. Good to know. Good to know. This sounds like some sort of Stephen King thing going on here. Now I saw Toddy's entered the Euro. Oh, has he now? I haven't looked today. Hello, Roy. How you doing, mate? About 10 miles an hour max. Do you know what? I think with a real sphincter twitching sense of panic, I could probably exceed 10 mile an hour, briefly. Rich, hi, Dave. Oh, Colin Theobald. Yes, you were talking about Silverstone, weren't you? Because you just spun off the screen. Don't get the YouTube, have it on the TV, but the comments on Facebook. That's weird. I don't know how this all works, I really don't. Chap Rothwell had done a Tatra. Is that right? Dave Rothwell's done a Tatra? It's not ringing a bell. You're not thinking of a Matra, are you? Because my friends had a Matra Simca Bagheera, a hot rod, it's more Pro Street. And that was from up Rothwell's neck of the woods. Not too bad at all, right? That's a race that needs to happen. Remember you suggested. Yeah, but it does strike me as a bit unfair on the loser if the loser is me. Oh, hold on. No, I know what you're thinking of, Mike, and it's not a Tatra. It was some other oddball car, Auto Union or something like that. I remember it, but I'm not sure it was a Tatra. That was Brian. Yes, that's it. That's it, Mike. That's the guy with the Matra. Run fact. Do I look like I do a lot of running? Yeah, jog on. What about a Steyr from the 30s? Sidney Allard put a Steyr V8 in his hill climb car. But wow, okay. Was it air cooled by any chance? Hey, Lee, you're over there now. Anyone else see Wes Buck's plans for the World Pro Mod Nationals? Yes. Hanamag. Oh, yes, you could be right. Yep. Pro Mod Nats. Yes, I did see that. And he did say, yeah, we want a proper World Cup of Pro Mods. Building a 58 Ford custom gasser. Nice, yeah. Is that for you? Have you had that a while, or is that like a customer's? Got the chassis work done, 351 Cleveland and an Econoline drop beam front. Oh, do share some pictures of that to the Hot Rod Gazette group. That would be cool. 58 Fords, almost completely overlooked. You know, well, mind you, Fords of any sort of mid-50s period are in the way that people would climb over a mint Ford with their shitty boots on to get to a 55 to 57 Chevy, which, although they are very, very beautiful cars, there are enough. Let me rephrase that. There can't be much that hasn't been done to a 55 to 57 Chevy. Everything from like concours, restorations to like gases and whatnot. That's because 58 Chevys look way better. I'll agree with you in as much as they are a beautiful car. I do love a 58, and frankly, if the chips are down, I would probably have a 58 Impala over a 57 Chevy. However, nobody really is that arsed about the Fords. Some of them ain't that pretty. I mean, 57 Ford? No, 58 Ford? Oh, yeah. Even that EV one, which gladly is now petrol-powered again. What? No, surely not. I missed that bit. There was more 50s Fords sold than Chevys. I think it was a bit of a coin toss. Oh, 50s, as in from 1950 to 1959. Yes, you're probably right. I mean, I think 55... That didn't sound good. Nope, there was nobody hitting my Mustang. The 55 to 57 years, I think Ford and Chevy sold roughly the same, or at least the data they published said that they sold about the same. Including the flange grilled thing, the Edsel, possibly, although Edsel wasn't exactly setting the market on fire, was it? Which is probably why it only lasted, what was it, 5 years? Anyway, was it 5 years? No, it was like 3 years. Anyway, yes, I know what you mean. And people said, oh, and that, look at the grill, it looks like a horse collar, and other slightly less complimentary things. So, what? It looks like part of a woman's anatomy. Cadillacs had jugs for like 3 years before that point. Project X. Oh, happy days. The advent of the small block Chevy really cemented the shoebox Chevy and the hot rod. Absolutely, yes, you're right. And I know Ford had like the wide. Well, Ford was still on the flathead when that small block Chevy came out, weren't they? And then their reply was the Y block, which just nobody seems to be particularly asked for the Y block at all, apart from some people building like traditional hot rods and stuff. And it wasn't until the Windsor, really, I don't think that anybody... I think that's what he... Oh. Morris playing pranks again? Anyway, I always thought that the Borgwood Isabella makes a good custom. Yes, but I can't remember the last time I saw one. I really can't. There are lots of cars of that era that would make great customs. Also this week is 50 years of American Graffiti. This is true. It was released in August 1973. I didn't go and see it when it was released because I was 5 months old. That's my excuse. 4 months old. So, and frankly, it was only in recent years that I managed to watch American Graffiti and stay awake for the duration. I've watched that film in instalments for the last 30 years. And recently I managed to stay awake through it from beginning to end. I don't know why. It's a terrific film, but I find it quite soporific. There we go. But that is... Aren't there some places where they're putting it on in like... some cinemas are screening it on the big screen. I'm sure there's places that are doing come on Dave, think, drive-ins. Now that would be cool. Hot Rod's still better. Yes, I enjoyed Hot Rod, although they really didn't waste much money on a script for that film, did they? Didn't see it until about 1980. I didn't see it until about 1990. Speaking of oddities, there are a 1958 Marmon Simca. Yes, military truck for sale on with a locked-up Ford flathead. But the thing is, like you say, it's 58 Marmon. I'm sure that the French military was still using those Marmon pickups with flathead engines well into the 70s. So, like, 20 years after Ford gave up making flatheads, the French military was still using them. And I think it was proper don't fix it if it ain't broke thing. Two-lane blacktop's pretty good. Yeah, that and two-lane blacktop and... Well, two-lane blacktop and Hot Rod were related, weren't they? It is proper, simple, don't waste any money on the styling. It's an army wagon. It is kind of cool. Watched Vanishing Point last night. Well, yes, that's where I was going with that. It's two-lane blacktop and Vanishing Point were sort of a bit similar, in my opinion, in terms of sort of overall feel. Not that fussed, but it was good. But all those films are good. They're worth watching purely because French military only need reverse gear. But tish. I think that joke is way old enough to be tax-free. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of these films which even, if we're honest with ourselves, if it wasn't for the cars, they'd be crap. I don't know what's going on out there. No, Morris hasn't ensnared a passerby. Morris is in his bloody cupboard where he belongs. Unless somebody was passing by the cupboard, in which case they've only got themselves to blame. Very simple film. Yes, absolutely, yeah. And like I say, they didn't waste much money on a script. But obviously somebody thought, we need a really nice loud Dodge Challenger for this. Yep, okay, sold. One ticket for that film, please. However, things like I gave up on the Fast and the Furious lot years ago. They occasionally have a really nice soundtrack, but unfortunately mostly the films are too much to sit through just to listen to a bit of nice engine noise. Saw Barry Newman in Assault on Precinct 13. Yes, I've never seen that. Watched Corvette Summer recently. Yes, now Corvette Summer was arse, considering that was Mark Hamill, wasn't it? And he'd just done Star Wars, and he went from Star Wars to Corvette Summer. Jesus Christ, what a come down. Maximum Overdrive. Is that the one with the trucks? The trucks come to life and chase people around a petrol station sort of thing. Primal Scream did a good soundtrack to Vanishing Point. Yeah, I watched, as it happens, the other night, I watched a documentary about Primal Scream. And the documentary was crap, in as much as they'd interviewed a bunch of people and got about 15 minutes of footage and managed to make it into a 45-minute documentary. I need to find a copy of Snake and Mongoose. I think I have one somewhere. But yes, I really liked Primal Scream's album. I liked Screamadelica, and I liked Give Out But Don't Give Up. And then they just sort of dropped off my radar. So I had to download Jailbird, which is fantastic. Somebody put somewhere that it's the best. Give Out But Don't Give Up was the best album the Rolling Stones never made. AC/DC Who Made Who album in Maximum Overdrive. I don't remember that bit. Death Race 2000. Christine, still a classic. I'm sure I saw something that they're remaking Christine, and it made me just think, oh no, because when Christine came out, the car was like a 20-year-old Plymouth. Now, if they remade it now, a 20-year-old Plymouth would be a neon. So, is that going to create queues at the cinema? I don't remember that bit, Andy. All AC/DC soundtrack to Maximum Overdrive. Okay. Anyway, there we go. But yeah, Death Race 2000. Was that the one? Which is the one with David Carradine in it? Because that was another one of, right, we've blown all the money on stunts and special effects, so we can't really afford a script. David Carradine and that Plymouth Fury has got... Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I must be fairly unusual now in that I read the book a long time before I saw the film. But Christine, Death Race 2000. And what are the ones with... Is it Jason Statham in them? Are they Death Race 2000-ish? I fell in love hard with Christine. I really hope you're talking about the car now. David Carradine in a 50s Chevy. It's been a long time since I saw that original Death Race 2000. Gumball Rally. Yeah, it's been ages since I've seen that. And it used to crop up on the TV. A heavily edited version used to crop up on the TV on Saturday afternoons, but I haven't seen it come up for years. And it doesn't appear to have made it to DVD. Or I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm wrong. Death Race 2000 was the partial inspiration for Judge Dredd, correct? But Stallone played the eponymous judge of Mega City 1. Yes, that's right. That Judge Dredd film was I didn't think much to that either. Which was the film where Stallone was, somebody rocked up in the future and went and uncovered an Oldsmobile 442? It is art, and like I say, it always makes me wince that they ruined so many Furies, or, well, were they Furies, to make Christine. But like I said, at the time there were 22-year-old crap cars. And like I say, would anybody shed any tears about a film company ruining a few Chrysler Neons? Just Death Race, then 2 follow-ons. Ah, right, okay, so that was the Jason Statham version, okay. Judge Dreadful, yeah. Demolition Man, yes. Demolition Man was the one with the old 442. Cobra, didn't Stallone have a bathtub Mercury? Yes, Demolition Man was the one with the old 442. Excellent satire on the world today, was it? It's been a long time since I saw it. With Wesley Snipes, bloody hell, yes. There we go. Hello, Louise, how are you? How's things been? I don't suppose you're going to Alton Park tomorrow, are you? But yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to be a kid in the late 70s when there were lots of sort of Hollywood car films. There's a taxi from Judge Dredd parked in a garden near my... Ooh, is there indeed? I say. Fines for transgression of the verbal morality code. Is this the one where he curses at a machine just so he can get some bog roll? I think that's the one. Watched a programme about Stallone's F100 built for the Expendables. Ooh, I've never seen the Expendables. But yeah, he has had some nice cars over the years, hasn't he? Although, frankly, I can't watch Stallone. Yeah, I've never seen Rocky. I've always managed to... I know Rocky and Rambo. I've never seen Rambo, any of them. I've got about half an hour into Rocky and thought, the fare must have been a fortune. And I was bored the other day, ended up watching Smokey and the Bandit. Always quality film. Covering from a major operator. Oh, Bumnuts. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Louise. Oh, yeah, I thought I didn't see you at Melbourne the other week. Well, I hope your recovery is going smoothly and you are being waited upon hand and foot. The Expendables. Don't. Okay. Badlands is a film based on Charlie Stark, where the main character drives a 51 Merc. Okay, I haven't seen Badlands. But yeah, Stallone, like I say, in Rocky and whatnot, a lot of bollocks. He's either got serious brain damage, and I think that was almost part of the point with Rocky, but nope, can't listen to the man. The Needle-Nosed Pete was Duel. Awesome. Ah, yes, and... the one for which Derek Drinkwater has built a replica, hasn't he? And he has the... Does he have, or... I've seen, like a little red Dodge Dart to go with it. I don't know if that's his or whether he's borrowed it for some shows, but it looked cool. Starman, never seen that. No. I don't watch that much telly, clearly. But yeah, like I said, when I was growing up in the late 70s, there were a lot of sort of like Hollywood-style films. I mean, Smokey and the Bandit was that. The first one was 77, wasn't it? And I remember at the time, Hal Needham, who was like the stuntman who basically did Smokey and the Bandit. And everybody said, oh, God, what a load of redneck shite, it'll never make a penny. And in 1977, it was the second highest grossing film in America, behind fucking Star Wars. So I'd say he did all right out of it. And I'm sure he took out a big advert in, I think it was Variety magazine or something like that, of basically himself wheeling a wheelbarrow full of cash to the bank, as a sort of a up yours to all the people who wouldn't invest in his film because they thought it was redneck trash. White Lightning, yes, that. There was Hooper as well. The original Gone in 60 Seconds. Buford T. Justice stole that film, didn't he just? Yes, we need more car films, new ones, not remakes. Correct, except if there were new car films, they'd probably use new cars. Yeah, so you had like Smokey and the Bandit and Convoy. Because, yeah, when I was primary school lad, we all wanted to be truck drivers. Especially when sort of CB radio took off and it was still illegal. And then they legalised it and it just went away because nobody gave a shit anymore because it wasn't it was legal. Gone in 60 Seconds, I don't know if that ever made it. Oh, if that was on TV over here, it would have been on fairly late at night. So, yeah. So yeah, and there's Gumball Rally, like somebody else said. That was a favourite. Yeah, so a couple of years after release, these were the films that were on TV on Saturday afternoon. 10-4 Rubber Ducky. Well, quite. And all that gibberish. I'm sure that must have sounded hysterical. A load of little kids in a playground in Birmingham talking like 10-4, good buddy and all that. But there we go. Yeah, yes. And yeah, the Cannonball Runs, or the Cannonball Runs just sounds like a nasty medical complaint. But I noticed, by the third one, Burt Reynolds even said, I don't care how much money you offer me, I'm not going to appear in that turd. The original Fast and Furious from 1954. Oh, okay. Any car films catches the post-punk ethos? Bloody hell. I don't know, because, where was I at? Santa Pod, and it was Quadrophenia was on the TV in the bar. Outside Fueler's bar at Santa Pod was they got the big screens up above, and it was the silent disco. So everybody in there was wearing headphones and bopping away to tunes that we couldn't hear, and singing along to tunes that we couldn't hear. It was like, guess that tune, it was ace. But up on the screen was Quadrophenia with the subtitles on. So me and James stood in the middle of a silent disco watching a silent film and reading the subtitles. It was strange. While the rain rattled down outside. The original Gone in 60 Seconds was on Talking Pictures. The black and white one? Oh, I don't know about that. I thought the original Gone in 60 Seconds was made in 1974 and wasn't not black and white. Otherwise, somebody wasted their time getting a yellow Mustang, didn't they? Yeah, so to Quadrophenia, that was all about, the mods and the rockers who had their fecking Lambrettas. What's the appeal of a Lambretta? I do not know. And the rockers had the motorbikes and stuff. And after that, until you got to the sort of the Max Power era, where you had your sound-off cars, I don't know. There appeared to be a bit of a lull in the sort of cars as pop culture in the, from the 70s and 80s. Okie dokie then, mate. See you later, Andy. Thanks for coming along, and glad to hear you back underwater, and enjoy. Have fun. The Brighton Beach Brigade. Well, yes, quite. The Mad Max. Absolutely, yes. Somebody mentioned Mad Max earlier, and that was cool. And that also, the original one with an unheard of Mel Gibson. That was a film done on, by Hollywood standards, a pocket money budget. And yeah, that really got a following, didn't it? And again, that used cars that at the time were just, well, actually, I suppose some of them were only like 6 or 7 year old cars. But yeah, if that film hasn't helped the value of Aussie muscle cars, I don't know what did. Yes, oh God, I can't remember what it's called, the Holden Sandman or something like that. He's wonderful. And a proper sort of car-based panel van, which I love them anyway. Car-based pickups and car-based panel vans, oh yes. But yeah, that is cool. Unfortunately, those are now frighteningly expensive. The proper, well, a lot of Aussie muscle cars I can't say I've seen many Aussie films with cars. There was a film, and it was black and white, and it was called The Cars That Ate Paris. And I'm sure that was either an Aussie or a New Zealand film. Running on Empty, not seen that one, unfortunately. Running on Empty, anybody? But yeah, there's The Cars That Made Paris, and that seemed to be largely a load of car stunts linked by a pitiful script, but it was really well worth watching. Yeah. The film I watched last night, incidentally, took in a Mel Gibson, being then unknown, and American Graffiti had Harrison Ford something like 12th on the bill, because he was an unknown. And last night, well, half on Wednesday night and the second half last night, I watched the Lavender Hill Mob, which I've never seen before, which was great. Goodbye Pork Pie. Now, I've seen that once, 30 years ago. I can't remember it. So I watched the Lavender Hill Mob, which was 1951. And spoiler alert, Sit-Down Rendezvous, was that really a film? I think it was only about 15 minutes long. I think that was more like a camera experiment. We'll come back to that. Yeah, Lavender Hill Mob, and there's a cameo appearance from this girl who just walks into shot, kisses the chap talking to, the star, Alec Guinness, and then wanders out again. And I thought, bloody hell, she looks like Audrey Hepburn. It was Audrey Hepburn, and she was 15th on the bill in the credits. So there you go. But that was like 8 or 9 years before Breakfast at Tiffany's. And Sit-Down Rendezvous, like I say, I'm sure that was part of a sort of a camera experiment where they'd just invented a sort of the Steadicam. This was years before like silicon as a vibration absorbing thing happened. Silicon vibrators, oh jolly good. And it was like a gimbal thing that they used to hold the camera steady, and they mounted it on the front of, I believe it was a Ferrari. It could have been anything really, and they just dubbed the soundtrack on afterwards, but no, I think it was a Ferrari. And then did the driving, and they drove the route. They then subsequently speeded the film up. But it was just basically to show how they could just go tonking around in a car like that, and the camera would stay steady. Because at the time, oh, Jesus Christ, this is about to go flat, is it? Happy days. Yeah, me Facebook camera is about to go flat. So this has a battery life of less than an hour. Marvellous. Remember films like Grand Prix and Le Mans as well. So James Garner and Steve McQueen and whatnot. And they had them in the car, driving this car, which is probably on the end of a rope or a bar, and a cameraman lying full length along the bonnet with the camera right in the driver's face like that to get those shots. And then other shots where there's a camera literally taped to the side of the driver's crash hat. Ford versus Ferrari. That was brilliant. I did enjoy that. I really do. The soundtrack is bogus from what I've read. Entirely plausible, yes. Like I said, it could well be that the Ferrari noise was just dubbed on to like a Citroen 2CV or something. But there we go. It did sound quite nice. And like I say, it was only about 15 minutes long. And was there one word said in it? I did have that on DVD or video, and God knows what's happened to that. I think I've lent it to someone, and that's that. So, other films. So, like I said, Le Mans, Grand Prix, which I've never seen Grand Prix. Or at least, not that I can remember. So, yeah. Any other good car films? California Kid. I remember that. I was wrong. Gone in 60 Seconds was 74. Don't know what I was watching in black and white. Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder what film that was then. 'Cause if you thought it was Gone in 60 Seconds, it sounds like it could be quite interesting. Huge shame Steve McQueen's Formula One film never happened. Yes. Although, like I say, it would have had to follow on from Grand Prix and Le Mans. I mean, they may have thought, right, we've milked this particular cow enough. But you don't know. What was the one with Robert Mitchum in that had some good driving in? Was it Robert Mitchum? Thunder Road? That was worth watching because he was a bootlegger, wasn't he? A whiskey runner. There's some good driving in that. In fact, did he not have a 57 Ford in that? That's a callback to some conversation that happened about half an hour ago. Hello, Hoppy. How are you doing, matey? How's things with you? I was going to say, you've joined in just in time for me to say it's probably about time I fecked off. Because, yes, I need to go and wash this mud off my elbows. I don't want to turn up to Alton Park tomorrow with muddy elbows. Also, the new Gran Turismo film. It was actually really good. Oh, okay, because I've seen a trailer for that, and I thought, in the 30-second trailer that I watched, and I thought, I will not touch that with the shitty stick. Repo Man's worth watching. Ooh, okay. I've never seen Repo Man. Deuce of Spades. Oh, Christ. Did I watch that? Because that was a sort of a low-budget indie film, wasn't it? And it was sort of big for 15 minutes amongst the hot rodders and then just seemed to drop out of sight. So I don't think I've seen that. Although, no, I don't think I have. No, I haven't seen that. Hello, Keith. You all right, matey? Like, you have also just joined in time for me to say, right, I'm buggering off now. It's a sports film rather than a dodgy game film. Okay, fair enough. But Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, good film, although I cried at the end. Mainly because of that yellow Charger. Yeah, I mean, this new bloody thing of making films out of video games that I think started with Tomb Raider. Okay, you can sell me Angelina Jolie in a Lara Croft outfit. After that, no. Sorry. Dave, busy helping Ryan get his Volvo finished. Should be legally on the road soon. Excellent stuff. I've seen a couple of his pictures. It does look like it's coming on a treat. So, happy days. I'm pleased to see that. Is it going to be this year, do you reckon? Or... So, yes, Keith, we were talking about the NSRA Nats earlier on. I was hoping people would tell me everything that happened because, yeah, I wasn't there. Right, in the meantime, this phone here is about to go flat. So it has gone from 100% to 9% in, 62 minutes. Right, okay. So if you have anything to chip in with, please do so now. Otherwise, I'm going to sod off. Like I say, I need to wash my elbows. Yeah, I need to wipe my arse and have some tea. Oh, here we go. Right. Yes, okay, bloody telephone, point taken. So, yes, if you've got anything to chip in with, do so now. Otherwise, I'm buggering off. So, if you're going to Alton Park tomorrow, I might see you there. If you're going anywhere else this weekend, enjoy. The weather's been absolutely shocking today. I've gone slightly less shiny. The weather's been slightly less shocking. Hopefully, the weather will be slightly less shocking than it has been today. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have a really good weekend. Next week, with a bit of luck, I will be here, and possibly here, on Thursday night. So about the same time, 7:30-ish, or whenever I can get my arse into gear. And other than that, I shall see you all very soon. So thank you all for coming along. It's been a lot of fun. And I shall speak to you all soon. See you later. Bye-bye.